Good morning, kings and queens. What's going on with y'all this morning? I've been away for a little second, trying to get my marbles right, get my mind right, get my head together. I want to get at y'all this morning, man. God gave me something just in my times of being obedient, I guess you could say, but just in my times of waiting and trying to get my mind together, but really just having a lot of questions. God gave me a word, the waiting room. And I sat down and like really all morning I sat down and just thought about it. Like, what is it? What is it that you're trying to tell me? And normally he'll give me something like right off back, but it's so crazy that he made me search for it this morning. And it's like he gave me a title, but if I wanted to get the full understanding, I had to go dig for it. You know, I had to search for it. I had to seek for it. And that gives me that understanding of when they say seek ye the kingdom first, put God first. A lot of times we just want God to drop things in on us. And that happens when we first become disciples or become followers. But as we mature, we got to search for the things that God have for us. So it's like a scavenger hunt, you know what I'm saying? And we find things that gets us to the next level. But let's jump right into this word so I can break this down for you on the way the Spirit gave it to me. I searched and I found this word in Acts chapter 1, verse 4 through, I think it's 4 through 7. And I'm going to read it, and then I try to break it down as well as I can. And it says, on one occasion, while he was eating with them, he gave them this command: do not leave Jerusalem, but wait for me. Wait for the gift my Father promised, which you have heard me speak about. John baptized with water, but in a few days you will be baptized with the Holy Spirit. So when they met together, they asked him, Lord, are you at this time going to restore the kingdom of Israel? He said to them, it is not for you to know the time nor date the Father has set aside his own authorities, but you will receive the power when the Holy Spirit comes on you, and you will be my witness in Jerusalem and all Judea and Samaria and in the ends of the earth, and to the end of the earth. So once he gave me the waiting room, I automatically start thinking about what do you do or why are you in the waiting room? If you go to the hospital and you're in the waiting room, or you go to a shop and you're in the waiting room, anywhere you go, something is getting fixed or someone is getting fixed when we go to the waiting room or when we're in the waiting room. Excuse me. So God started showing me, why am I in the waiting room? What am I waiting on? And even with the scripture, you know, they asked, was it the time for him to restore the kingdom of Israel? So my question to you is, are you waiting on God to restore you? Is it something in you that you're waiting on God to restore? Is it your life? Is it your finances? Is it your family? What is it that you're waiting on God to restore you with, or to restore? He just starts showing me that as we wait in this waiting room, I think we get caught up in wanting to know the time. We want to know when God is going to do something, how he's going to do it. And we get so frustrated because we don't know that. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a visual of like, God is going to do this for me today, man, or God going to come through tomorrow. He don't really have a date on it. And I think And I'm gonna say I think, because I don't want to say I know this, because I'm in it like everybody else trying to figure it out. But to me, in my space, I think that God is showing me that I need to be patient with the unknown. That I need to focus on the now. And when we're in the waiting room, we have a habit of catching up on things that we didn't that we've been neglecting. Let's put it like that. I'm trying to get the right words out. And a lot of times, God will make us wait so that we can pick up on some things that we forgot. And a lot of that stuff we forget, it can be people. It can be situations that you've been in. It can be all kinds of stuff that we forget about. And a lot of times we forget to be grateful for the things we have, for the places we are in, for the opportunities we get, that we have already. I ain't gonna say that we get, but that we have already. Sometimes we just don't focus on those things. We focus on what we want. And once we get a focus on something we want, we always like, I guess, stay focused, stay honed in on that one thing. So life can be happening around us. Everything can be going on that's preparing us for getting to that point or getting that thing that we want to get fixed and handled. And we don't look at the process. And a lot of times it falls right in that space of looking at the process, going through the process. Because we want the end. We want the actual product. You know what I'm saying? And I sit down and I think I'm so amazed by even hearing the Spirit tell me that. Because I have a habit of wanting to sit down and look at how stuff's made, and seeing the process. And it makes you appreciate the actual product when you see how it's made, right? So what God is showing me is He's trying to make us see the process and appreciate the process. Appreciate what it takes to make your blessing, what it takes to make your gift come to fruition. What it takes for your marriage to be where it's at when it's successful. All the things you've went through, and it puts you in a certain position to where you can say, I remember when. And then you can sit back and appreciate it, but not only appreciate it, but you can go back and take notes. You see, that's the funny part about it. You can go back and take notes on your life if you go back and look at it. A lot of times people don't look at their life and see what they really came through. And when you see the process that God brought you through to get to where you are right now in your life, you'll understand that was a beautiful thing. But in retrospect, you'll look at it as, man, I've been in the waiting room. When you was a child and however you came up, if you look at how you came up and look at where you are right now, you've been in a waiting room. You didn't even know it because you was so preoccupied by so many different things. You looked over the fact that you was actually in the process of getting where you are. So what God is showing is we have to sit down and we have to think. What got us where we are right now? How long has it been since we've been in the waiting room? See, we got so comfortable in the waiting room that we don't even learn that there's a lot to do in the waiting room. A lot. If you go to the hospital, or you go, take your car somewhere and get it repaired, or whatever it is, wherever you go, and you sitting and you waiting, you notice you'll grab your phone, or some people grab a book and just catch up. and you know this stuff. I mean, where you gain more information and more knowledge just while you sitting and waiting on something to get completed. So God is trying to get us into a position of, as you wait, and this is just coming out of my own book of life, things that I do, my own little way of doing things. And I think I know a lot of us do it. But what God is really trying to point out right now and magnify, as you waiting on him to do something in your life, go back. I mean, not go back, but go into his word and start figuring out what he's saying. Because see, the way God do, as we read his word, he start telling us things that we didn't even know existed. Even with this scripture, he said it up front. He was like, he said, do not leave. He told him, do not leave Jerusalem. He said, but wait for the gift my father promised. And see, that's the thing. We ask God for certain things, but this right here is Christ telling his disciples to just, wait right here. You know what I'm saying? And he starts saying about the things that you heard me speak about. They have heard it, but I think they forgot it. They forgot that Christ was saying to them, my father got a promise that he's going to do this, and this in your life. And we forget about the promise. So as we forget about the promise, we start lacking. We don't keep going back to hear like God tell us when he's going to do something. And that's where the time and the date come in. As you read every day, God is like, it's getting close. Like if you start reading this one, he said in the next 3 days. I don't know if that's for somebody, but at the end of the day, shoot, your breakthrough can be coming through in the next 3 days. My breakthrough can be coming through in the next 3 days. But it's about, what are you going to do in the waiting room? As you wait for God to give you the promise that he gave you, as you wait for God to bless your life, what are you doing in the waiting room? Are you sitting down, moping, pacing, complaining? Or are you sitting down and taking in some more information to prepare you for the blessing, to put you in position to receive the blessing and be grateful for it? Because God is not going to give you anything if you're not grateful for it. You know what I'm saying? And he sees it. And that's the thing that people don't get. God knows our heart. Just like people use that to get through some things or get out of some stuff. When they do something, they say, well, God know my heart. Yeah, God know your heart. That's why he's not blessing you right now, because he know where your heart is at. If your heart ain't on, let me go find out what God is talking about. Let me go read this word. Let me go ingest some of this stuff and let it move around inside me, you know what I'm saying, and digest, and then I can move better when I start getting these prompts of, you gotta wait a little bit longer, or it'll be here soon. Just be patient. See, you learn how to enjoy those words because you already got confirmation through the word, through this word. And God started telling you, wait on this word that is about to be spoke to you. Someone's going to come and talk to you in a couple of minutes. I mean, it's just like that. I mean, God talks in so many different ways, but we got to be open. And the thing is, we got to be still. Because as long as you standing still enough for you to hear it, you will start progressing. And I don't know if you understand it or not, but just the laws of nature, as long as you're moving around and you start hearing certain things move. Say if you walk around with a plastic bag in your hand and somebody trying to talk to you and they talking low, because you moving with that bag and that bag is making all this noise, you can't hear what they saying. And it could have been something super important. So right now, that's what it seemed like. Like you walking around with a plastic bag and God is trying to speak to you, but God don't talk loud. And that's what people keep forgetting. He's a big God, but he talk low. because he talked, and the reason why he talked low is to keep it secret between you and him. See, God is the greatest whisperer. Sometimes you got to stop moving around with them plastic bags and let him talk. You know what I'm saying? You won't hit a secret because you got too many other things going on. And that plastic bag, when I say the plastic bag, that symbolizes all the noise you got going on in your life. And the noise is not just the actual sound. The noise is the unnecessary things. How much stuff you got going on in your life that can't benefit you, and it don't benefit you. It's just a bunch of noise. You can't get where you got to go. You know what I'm saying? But while you're in this waiting room, God, he's whispering to you and telling you all these different things. And sometimes the doctor will come out and you be so into your zone, they got to almost come and pat you on your shoulder or, you know, tap you on your shoulder and to get your attention because you're not paying attention. You're not really focusing, you know what I'm saying? Because you preoccupied with other stuff. And it ain't just, you know, stuff. It's just other stuff. Stuff that don't, you know, you get caught up in it. It's stuff that takes your attention real quick. But it's not beneficial. So that's another thing, you know, that you got to think about. What is it that you are doing in the waiting room to preoccupy your time? Are you reading on something? It ain't always got to be the Bible, man, but it got to be something positive. Because this is the thing. If you're reading or if you're on social media or wherever you at, you got to be putting something in you that's going to give you an answer. Or you got to be looking and seeking for the answer. If you ain't seeking for the answer, you'll never find it. So don't get mad if God ain't speaking to you and you don't hear it. Or just say, don't get mad because you think God's not speaking to you. Because a lot of times he's speaking. And God talk 24/7. But like I said, he keep whispering. He's not going to talk loud. He's not going to raise his voice just so you can hear him over all your noise. So while you're in the waiting room today is going to be a good start. While you sitting and waiting on God to bless you today, look around. Think back on what it took to get you where you are right now. While you've been in the waiting room as an individual and you know, sit back and think about that so it can make you appreciate where you are, first of all. While you're in the waiting room, just find out what it is that you want God to fix. Because a lot of times people are waiting and don't even know what they want God to fix in their life. You know, you don't even know what you're waiting for. You just there. And you know, people quickly say, man, I'm waiting on God to do something in my life. All right, give him something to do. Give him something to work on. Today is a day for you to just, open up and let God work in your life. So I'm telling you, man, we got a lot to think about. We got a lot to do. We got a lot of focus that we need to put in play. But I ain't going to hold you too much longer. I just want you to sit down and think about that. Because it made me think like everything that came out was stuff that it wasn't even in my mind. I just know he said the waiting room. I get it now. So y'all know what it is every day, man. Keep your head on the swivel. Negativity is out there. Can't go around it. You got to go through it. You know what it is, man. Always, every day, stay straight, stay focused, stay mindful, man. Keep your eyes right. Always focus on what you're trying to wait on or focus on what you're waiting on. And just focus on God talking to you. Listen for the whisper, man. Y'all know what it is. All day, honey. All day long. My bad. I'm so gone right now. But 100, strong on. Y'all be easy out there.